Wisdom Walking with the Hat Man. Stardate 14.7. Different hat today, by the water, at the Marine Residence. Start with the end in mind. Keep doing your very best. Keep the faith and be magnificent. So I saw a bit of a movie. I can't recall what it was called. It was one of these sporting things in America. I think it was a high school American football team. Why do they call it football? And it was in a training session, and the coach had said to this one guy, I want you to do your best. Will you give me your best? The guy said, yes, I want your very, very best. Nothing more, nothing less. Will he gives me? And the player said, yes, coach. So he got him to get on all fours at one end of the football field, and he put this other player on the back of him, lying on his back, so their backs are back. Then he blindfolded the first guy, and he said to him, I want you to give me your very best, and I want you to bear crawl all the way to the halfway line. Will you give me your best? The guy said, yes, coach. So he got into the bear position, which is on hands and feet, and started to crawl with this guy on his back. And I can only imagine how difficult that is anyway, bear crawling, let alone with somebody who's probably, I don't know, 70, 80, 90, 100 kilos on your back. And he got to like probably the 20-yard line, and the coach kept going, saying, don't you give up on me, I want your best. Yes, coach. And the guy's going and going and going. Morning to you.
Hello.
Come here, pup. And they go through the 20-yard line. And they get through the 30, 40-yard line. And the guy's starting to struggle. And he says to the coach, how much further? He says, don't you worry about that. Just give me your best. And then the players started, the other players started to, I don't know, pay attention to this. And he goes over the halfway line, which was the target. And the coach was going, keep going, I just want your best, give me your best. And the guy keeps calling, and then he makes it all the way to the other end of the field. He doesn't collapse, but he just stops and he says, I can't give you any more. And the coach says, okay. Mask comes off and they look at how far he's come. And I've been thinking about this. Look at that, Christmas tree. Woohoo. Been thinking about that this morning. Doing your best. Alright, so whenever I've had stuff to do, either when working or outside of work, I kind of give my best most of the time. Sometimes I just coasted, just did a little bit necessary to get through and hit the target, get the quota done, clock in on time, clock out, blah. Oh God, I hated that. But there were a few moments when I gave my best, and I was really pleased with the outcomes. And then, of course, like an athlete, maybe a sprinter or a marathon runner, they train for 100 metres or 200, 400. And when they compete, most of them give their best. You know, physically and mentally, get those two in sync. With the right attitude, they could probably give their best. And depending upon the quality of the field, they may get higher up the rankings than if they didn't give their best. But they train for that point in the future. Oh, I'm pointing. And then they all sort of slow down, they smile, and they clap, and they cheer. But to keep doing your very best, well, what does that mean? So in a relationship, you know, you first start off with somebody, first few months, the honeymoon period, best behaviour. And then things might irritate you. You might become irritating. And most of us will continue to try our best. But do we do our best? Do we really take stock of what we're actually doing? And are we asking ourselves, is that I'm doing right now the best at all my capabilities. And if it's not, like a marathon runner, they can't run marathons every day. They need to rest, recharge and refocus. So maybe part of doing your best, and keep doing your very best, is to recognise when you need a break. Most of the time, if you don't have a target like their first American football I mentioned, you don't know how far you'll get. So perhaps you should just do and be at your very best. So keep the faith, be magnificent, Hatman out.